Hello, this is the North Hills Middle School Rising Sixth Grade Curriculum Night presentation that we delivered on Wednesday, February 5th, 2025. My name is John Lesjak. I'm the middle school principal, and the other person you see on your screen is Mrs. Katie Hartman. She's the associate principal of the building. And combined, we represent the administrative team that will be working with you and your child over the next 3 years at the middle school. Because this is the first time that we're bringing all four elementary buildings into one secondary building, we do have four school counselors to support our students in the middle school. And the way we've structured it is there is one counselor primarily assigned to each grade level, and then that counselor follows that grade level through their 3 years here at the middle school. So for next year, for our rising sixth graders, the class of 2032, your counselor will be Mr. Terabishi. Our current sixth graders, that will be seventh graders next year, the class of 2031, their counselor is Mrs. File. And our rising eighth graders, the current seventh grade class, the class of 2030, their counselor is Mrs. McElhaney. And again, each one of those counselors then follows that class through their 3 years in the middle school. We also have a student assistance counselor, Mr. Ratnavale. He works with students in all three grade levels. He runs our student assistance program, as well as many of our activities to support our students here through their time. And as always, all four counselors are always available for all of our students that need support. So that kind of brings us to the timeline of events thinking about next year. And we know that thinking about next year, the 25-26 school year, feels like it's really far away. And there are certainly a lot of very exciting and very enjoyable and very important things to come between now and the end of this school year. But we do want to start thinking about next year. And the way we do this process is through a series of events. So hopefully we don't overwhelm you by putting a whole bunch of information in front of you at any one time. So February 5th is middle school curriculum night. That's the opportunity for parents to learn more about the process and the programs we have for our students in the middle school. And this week, February 3rd, and then the week of February 10th represent the time for our student scheduling window. Our counselors are going into classrooms in the current fifth, sixth, and seventh grade, our rising sixth, seventh, and eighth grade students. They're talking about the courses that they'll be taking next year. They're helping them make the decisions that they need to make. And again, that gives our students and their parents and their counselors about 2 weeks to make those decisions. We then, towards the end of February, will push out via social media and via our newsletters and via our other distribution channels, the list of courses that all students in the middle school have signed up for. That'll give you a chance as a parent to double check and make sure that your child is correctly placed and reach out with any concerns. And then that gives us March and April to really focus on preparation for PSSAs and all the other exciting things that happen in the spring at the elementary and the middle school level. We then, the first week of May, during the school day, bring our current fifth graders up to the middle school for a tour of the building, to meet some of their teachers and counselors, to get a feel for what the middle school is like. And we'll certainly push more information out about that closer to the day. Then we get through the end of the 24-25 school year. Everybody goes home for the summer, and that gives us time to put some final touches on the schedule so that at the end of July, you will be able to see the classes, the teams, and the teachers for your student moving into next year, the 25-26 school year. That's so that we then in early August can hold middle school orientation, a chance for you and your child to come on up, tour the building, go around, find their locker, learn more about the middle school. And then that allows us to start the 25-26 school year in late August and begin your middle school journey. So the way the middle school works is our school day is from 7:50 in the morning until 2:50 in the afternoon. Doors actually open and buses start arriving as early as 7:30. That gives our students about 20 minutes to get breakfast, get in, get situated. We then have 9 academic periods during our school day. Each one is roughly 40 minutes long. So they'll go to each class for 40 minutes. And then in between each period, there are 4 minutes for students to go to their locker, use the restroom, and get to their next class. One of those 9 periods is lunch. So they'll have a 40-minute lunch, and each lunch is separated by grade. So all of our 6th grade students eat lunch together. And then at the end of the day, we have a 25-minute homeroom period, an opportunity for our students to go back to one classroom, collect their things, maybe get started on some homework, receive additional academic support if they need it, do some fun activities, some team bonding. But I do have to tell you that unfortunately, there is no recess in middle school. That is one big change for our students that sometimes does disappoint them. All of our rising 6th graders have a very similar schedule. Everybody will take a Math 6 course. That course is actually 2 periods long. So rather than one 40-minute period, it's 2 80-minute periods. We also have Literacy Arts 6 that every student takes. That is essentially a reading course similar to elementary school. Students will have a period of English language arts. They will have a period of social studies and a period of science. And those 5 courses represent what we call the core classes, the main academic courses that students will have every year in middle school. There's also a period that is split between phys ed and music. So students will be signed up for 2 days of phys ed a week, and those days of the week will vary. And then they sign up for 3 days of music. And there are some choices there that we'll talk about in a moment. And then there's a period for what we call our trimester course, which again, we'll talk about a little later on in this presentation. And like I mentioned, there's a period for lunch, and all our 6th graders eat together in 5th period lunch. So 8 items there, but because math is 2 periods long, that's how you fill a 9-period day. And so because we are a middle school and we really value building connections and building bonds between both students and adults, we use what we call the team concept beginning in 6th grade. So when students come up to the middle school in 6th grade, they are separated into 3 separate teams of 6th graders. We mix them up based on ability level, based on initial elementary school, and a variety of other factors. So you'll get to meet new people as well as maybe see some familiar faces. And everybody on a team has the same teachers for their core subjects. So they will all have the same English language arts teacher, the same literacy arts teacher, the same social studies teacher, and the same science teacher. And then because, as I mentioned, the math class is 2 periods long, which means it's twice as long, each team actually has 2 math teachers. So students on that team will be separated between those 2. It's the same curriculum, it's the same course, the teachers will work closely together, but because the class is twice as long and we want to keep the class sizes manageable, that's why we're offering 2 math teachers per team. I also, as I mentioned a little earlier, the trimester course. So what happens there is it's sort of similar to the specials you might have had in elementary school, but one of your periods during your school day will be divided between 3 mini courses. One of them is called Innovation and Design. That is similar to a STEAM class or a STEM class with some coding, some engineering, some project-based activities. There's an Art 6 course with some beginner art activities. And then there's a Computer Science 6 course, which gets involved with some computer science work beginning in sixth grade. Each one of those courses is one trimester, which is about 12 weeks of the school year, which means that you'll take 12 weeks of one of those courses, then rotate to a different one, and then to the final one. And the order will vary based on your schedule, but that will take up one period during your school day. The one choice that you do have to make going into sixth grade is the music class you are registered for. That's one of the things you're doing during your scheduling meetings with Mr. Terabishi. But because everybody in sixth grade takes 3 days a week of music, you do get a choice in which that class is. General music is the course that's kind of an overview of music, and so that's available to all students. But if you're interested, you can join the choir program and be a part of chorus beginning in sixth grade. If you are interested in playing an orchestral instrument and have not done so before, we have a beginning orchestra in sixth grade. But we also have orchestra in sixth grade for students that began playing in elementary school. And then it's the same thing for band. There is a beginning band in sixth grade for students who are interested in joining the band and have not done so. But there's also a sixth grade band for students that began in elementary school. And because of the size of those numbers, it's actually divided into two separate sections, one for brass and percussion players and one for woodwind players. But those two groups will, from time to time, come together for combined rehearsals and work as a full group. We understand that thinking about the transition to middle school and sixth grade can be overwhelming, not just for students, but also for parents as well. And so I want to assure you that our goal and our vision is to inspire all of our students to achieve their very best during these 3 years in middle school. What that definition of best is going to vary by student. And sometimes it involves academics or the arts or athletics. But middle school can be a great opportunity for growth. It could be an opportunity to really develop as a young adult, as an individual, to find your areas of strength and to identify them so that we can build a bridge to the 4 years of high school that are going to be coming up very soon, and then help begin to prepare you for success in the real world. And so we take that charge very seriously, as it's our duty and our honor to help students identify who they are, figure out where they are, where they want to be, and get them there. With that transition to middle school, there are certainly some changes. This is really the first opportunity our students have to take ownership of their learning, where they start to really be the ones to identify what they're interested in, as well as how they're going to help be a part of their own academic success. To help them do that, we really put a strong emphasis on study skills beginning in sixth grade. And so one thing we encourage and work with our students to do is use a planner to keep track of their assignments, to stay organized. We teach them how to use their iPad appropriately. They'll have a locker for the first time. We'll work on that, keeping their materials organized and other things. And also to start to really take ownership in monitoring their activity. Because they have different courses, they'll be able to monitor their grades through PowerSchool. And we work with students to really help them understand and help them grow as an individual who's really taken the lead in their education. We strongly encourage students to think about and make sure they're doing their homework that they have beginning in sixth grade, to review their materials, and to rely on the supports that we put into place to help them be successful as students. We also have a school-wide positive behavior support plan similar to the ones at the elementary school. Ours here at the middle school is called the Strong as Steel program. And we've identified 3 pillars that we really ask all of our students to abide by and to think about during their daily activities here at the middle school. The first is to take ownership, the idea that you now, as a young adult, are responsible for your actions, your words, your deeds, and to identify, when you make a mistake and how to make that situation better, to also identify what it is you need to do as an individual to help yourself be successful. Secondly, we ask all of our students to demonstrate respect, both to themselves, to their peers, to their teachers, and to all the individuals they interact with on a daily basis. And then lastly, we ask them to choose safety. We recognize that we're in a time where our bodies are changing, our emotions are changing, our minds are changing, but making sure we're always making decisions that keep ourselves and others safe so that we can be successful. Our students earn tickets for following those 3 pillars from teachers and other adults in the building. Every month we have different raffles where we raffle off some prizes for our monthly winners. We also have a series of building rewards from time to time when the entire student body earns enough tickets and enough rewards. So for example, we had a masked teacher competition back in December as one of our rewards, and we'll certainly have other ones moving forward. But we have a lot of students involved in this program, our Strong as Steel student group and our student ambassadors. And it's a great opportunity to get involved in the building and to be a part of our greater community. We also here at the middle school have a club and activity program. What will happen is at the beginning of the school year in August, students will get the opportunity to sign up for a club. And we have a whole bunch of different activities that we do roughly twice a month. So there's a 3-on-3 basketball club, chess club. There's a walk and talk club where kids get to walk around the building, just talk to their friends. There's a service club. We have, I think, 60 or 70 different options for our students. And so they get to sign up for one they're interested in for the first semester, meet some new peers, meet some new adults, and then we switch clubs in the second semester as well, but just an opportunity for our students to get involved in some different activities with some people they might not have had a chance to meet and really get involved in something that's hopefully fun for them. We also have a variety of supports available for our students beginning in 6th grade because we do recognize it's a shift from the elementary schools. So as I mentioned at the beginning, we have homeroom. And so from time to time, we'll have team and grade level meetings where we'll bring the students together either as a team or maybe as a full grade level, talk about different programs, talk through different concerns that they might have or we might have about the building, work on different activities and kind of do some different things to help support them as they grow as a middle school student. Every day during lunch, we have a program called Guided Study. That's a chance for students to get a lunch and go to a classroom with a certified teacher who can then help them with homework or get some additional tutoring or other support academically. And then every day during homeroom, we have math help where we have a certified math teacher available to help students that might be struggling in math and need additional support. There's also a program called Varsity Tutors that began this year that is available to all students of any grade level in any academic activity. That's an online tutoring platform that's at no cost to you. So if there's any course that the student is struggling with, they can log on to that and use a chat bot and ask any kind of questions. Lastly, as we think about next year, I did want to just remind you that there are some requirements on the medical side entering 6th grade, one of which is a physical exam. So as you're planning your annual physicals, make sure that you're getting that paperwork signed and submitted to the building before the beginning of 6th grade. We also do vision, height, and weight screenings in 6th grade. So a couple of things to think about as we begin our journey to the middle school. So that essentially brings us to the end of our program. The first thing I would strongly encourage you to do is to make sure you are subscribed to our newsletter. Your email address that is registered to your PowerSchool account that's currently tied to the elementary school your child attends will automatically shift over to the middle school account. But you can also visit our website, nhsd.net. And if you go to the /connect page, that will show you the other ways you have of getting information from the district through social media, through email blasts, through newsletters, and through the website. We also have a scheduling page on the middle school website. So again, if you go to that nhsd.net, there's a tab for schools and you can select North Hills Middle School. And then there's a tab for academics and courses that will link you to our program of study. So you can read the course descriptions for all of the courses we offer here in the middle school, as well as review some of the information in this presentation. And then during curriculum night, we did have the opportunity for parents to visit teachers and course materials in our gymnasium, but you can always reach out with any questions to either the school counselors or my office, and we'd be certainly happy to answer them. So that does conclude what we reviewed during curriculum night with our rising sixth grade parents. Again, we know it's a lot of information. That's why we wanted to start the process now, just to plant the seeds, with the understanding that we'll certainly be continuing to share information as we move forward through the end of the 24-25 school year, and then over the summer moving into the 25-26 school year in August. So please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone else in the building, and look for your students' course requests to be distributed in late February. And we're looking forward to seeing you very soon.